The Walt Disney Company is in a wrestling match they cannot win with YouTube. And friends, let me tell you, it's going to cost them to the tune of maybe $100 million or more. Now JP Morgan says they know when Disney's going to give up. They know when they'll cry uncle. Bob Iger perhaps waiting until the earnings call when he can take no more to open the door and bring back the sports to YouTube TV. Hello folks, it's a dandy of a day. Thank you for coming our way. An attitude of gratitude every single time you decide to click one of our videos. You're seen, you're appreciated, truly. And yes, it's yet another time to bring you what the drive-bys never can. We've got analysis you need to know. When is Disney going to get back to putting back the sports onto YouTube TV? When will ABC and ESPN return? Well, folks, we've got answers, and we'll tell you why Google/YouTube is getting ready to burn teeny weeny itsy bitsy Disney, and the negotiations are looking very harsh now for Mickey Mouse, indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some news here that you need to see, and that is Disney is determined to lose to YouTube TV and do so in an even more spectacular fashion than you thought they could. Get ready. Here it is out of NBC Sports. Why is NBC Sports covering this? Well, because Monday Night Football, no football on YouTube TV. And you might think that that's bad for YouTube TV, and to some degree it is, but get ready. We know the numbers, how much Disney is losing. And as they're going into this earnings call, what if I told you that the price tag for Disney fighting YouTube could easily surpass $100 million and nothing gained for it? This is by Mike Florio. It says YouTube TV customers must affirmatively claim their $20 Disney credit. It says Google had been winning the PR battle with Disney over the absence of ESPN, ABC, and other Disney-owned channels from YouTube TV by doing nothing, mainly because Disney and ESPN have been regularly stepping on rakes. But Google has found a rake of its own. Instead of automatically applying a $20 credit to the accounts of millions of users who haven't gotten what they automatically pay for every month, you have to claim it. It is, and I say this with full appreciation, says the author, the fact that YouTube and its parent company Google and its parent company Alphabet are a multi-trillion-dollar conglomerate. Bull cuss. They're adding an obstacle knowing that some people won't realize that the credit has to be claimed and won't know how to do it, won't have the time to do it, or will forget it. And so we beg each of you, go do it. Here's the link. Go get your money. It's your money. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here's the deal. That's for this last month. My understanding is that they are likely to just go ahead and automatically do it for the months forthcoming. Okay. If you want to do it prorated and retroactively, you got to go click the link. Now, here's why this matters. Disney has decided that they don't want to be part of YouTube TV unless YouTube TV is willing to take all of their channels, not just ABC, not just ESPN, but Freeform and Disney Channel and all this junk that nobody is watching. Disney wants YouTube to be forced to pay for it. They're saying, no, we don't want this other crap. We'll take ESPN, we'll take ABC, and that's it. We don't want any of the rest of the crap. We know the metrics. Our people aren't watching it. They don't want to pay for it. And Disney's stuck. Disney is really stuck because they use bundling all of those other channels together to justify how much they're paying for live sports. That's what those are there for. Now, how much is this costing Disney as they go up against a company that is worth more than $3 trillion? And remember that Disney is worth something like $200 million. That means Disney is going up against a company that is 15 times their size, which would be like a small baby bunny trying to beat Shaquille O'Neal in a wrestling contest. Going to go well. Disney is losing, it says, James Ferris out of Business Insider, Disney is losing $30 million every week the YouTube TV blackout lasts, Morgan Stanley says. So Morgan Stanley is saying $30 million. I have heard that it might be 35, but $30 million is what Morgan Stanley says. Every single week, YouTube TV does not have Disney stuff on it. Disney channels are blacked out on YouTube TV. Mouse House has taken a $30 million revenue hit each week. Again, I've heard 35, but 30, fine, Morgan Stanley. YouTube is offering to give millions of subscribers a $20 $20, that is such a silly way of saying this, a $20 bill credit. Just say $20 credit. Disney is losing $30 million in revenue a week from its standoff with YouTube TV over rates. Sports fans, English pro, please, may feel like the big losers from a carriage dispute that's kept Disney's TV networks, including ESPN and ABC, off YouTube TV since October 30th. Until a deal is reached, YouTube TV subscribers will miss shows and games, including Monday Night Football. Okay, what they're saying right now, they believe that this thing's going to wrap up on day 14. Now, we're on day 11 right now, so day 14 would put us on the exact same day that Disney comes out with their earnings call. What a coincidence that Morgan Stanley, and remember, Morgan Stanley is the company that sent the guy who's the head of the Disney board now, James P. Gorman. He's over there, and all of a sudden, Morgan Stanley says, oh, it's going to wrap up the same day that they have the earnings call. All the coincidences, they are aplenty. And they think that if it ends that day, that it'll be a $60 million loss. But I'm here to tell you that it could go on farther than that. And if it does, it's going to exceed $100 million in losses. Okay? Now, why is Disney doing this, and why must they bow before YouTube by the time they get to the earnings call? Well, Disney is doing this because YouTube is absolutely pummeling them, and all Disney has left is live sports. It's their only leverage. They're trying, I believe, to shorten the gap, narrow the gap between Hulu and YouTube TV, but they're not. This is like the government shutdown. YouTube is going to give them nothing. YouTube, there is no way Disney can win. There is no way, because YouTube has no incentive. YouTube can start giving this $20 credit month after month after month while Disney's losing hundreds of millions of dollars. YouTube doesn't care. YouTube could go, they can put out YouTube TV for free for the holidays and be like, you know what? We're sitting on $3 trillion. Go ahead. We're giving this for free until Disney comes back. Have fun. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. See you at New Year's. There is nothing Disney can do to win this. There is no angle that helps them out. Panel, am I missing something here? Is there some way that Disney is going to overcome?
I would love to know if that figure that Morgan Stanley came up with includes or does not include the lost ad revenue. Because since most of the Disney sports stuff, the various ESPN variations, has ads, those advertisers are going to say, well, you're not delivering the number of people watching our ads that you used to. We don't want to pay you so much.
No, I'm fully with you.
I think the number is much bigger than what they're quoting there. Much bigger.
I agree. And that's why I think that easily this is a $100 million loss for Disney.
You bet.
But what do you think, Lou, about the idea that the earnings call, that suddenly somehow Morgan Stanley believes they're going to get this thing wrapped up by the time we get to the shareholders?
Well, it took the election to get the Senate to figure out they were losing and give up, right?
Almost like it was a ploy the entire time.
Yeah. So, life imitates art and politics imitates commerce and all those other catchphrases. But let's just say the monster lighting on this particular piece of clip is accurate. Let's put it that way.
So the thing that goes through my mind is, was it 6 months to a year ago, Disney was in this battle with everyone else, like all the traditional linear channels, and they strong-armed them and kind of sort of won that battle for this exact same purpose. And so Disney, they're trying to do it again because they had success. But again, the difference is this isn't a linear network. So they don't have that traditional pull that they've had. And so I think that there's probably something there. And I know you kind of spelled that out a little bit with that article, Pro, but I didn't hear it necessarily explicitly said.
Here's the other part of this, okay? That is a fantastic point, Steve, because how did Disney get out of this when they tried to fight with the other cable providers? They got out of it. The way that they could save face was they would say, we got Disney Plus subscribers, because all of these battles they faced, these carriage deals, they all ended up with Disney gaining subscribers because the cable providers would fold in Disney Plus as an automatic part of having cable membership, that you got a Disney Plus subscription. And so then that bolstered those Disney subscriber numbers like crazy. That's great for shareholders. It looks wonderful, right? Mm-hmm. In this case, YouTube does not want Disney Plus subscriptions. There's no way they want that, right? What would that do for Disney? Or what would that do for YouTube? Why would YouTube want Disney Plus? That is a direct competitor to them. They don't want it. They already have the Disney content on YouTube, probably, if you just search for it. So yeah. that is not, it's nowhere on the horizon for something Disney could pull this time.
Disney should have learned that the term carriage does not always apply to a clear thing that takes you to a glass slipper.
Well played. Well played. Guys, the other thing about this too is, Disney is trying to win a battle with the one thing they hold, the one thing they have left that's unique, right? I mean, they've decimated their boy brands. Their girl brands are now getting beaten by K-pop demon hunters.
Right.
they have live sports. They've dedicated 1/3 of their company to live sports. They've got that, and that's what they're using. They're holding this over ESPN's head, or excuse me, over YouTube's head, and saying, we're going to hold ESPN. You're not going to have college football. You're not going to have Monday Night Football. If we were 3 months from now, Disney would have no leverage whatsoever at all. All they have is the live sports pain, and they're about to run out of that.
And that has this nasty little gambling thing going on.
I was just going to say.
Yep. And we'll be covering that real soon, folks, because guess what? Just as we told you, it's in another league, and the FBI is investigating it. The MLB now. We've got the MLB now facing major investigations, similarly to the NBA. Who could have seen that coming? Oh, wait, we did, and you knew it was coming.
And just for those future discussions, everybody in the back of your mind, remember this. MLB is different from all the other sports leagues. Why? It has a congressional exemption from antitrust. And what the Congress giveth, it can taketh away. And ponder that.
There you go. Lauren, what do you think about YouTube TV and Disney trying to take on a company that's 15 times its size? I mean, do you think that Disney can actually win this in any way, or is this pretty much a done deal? And we're just waiting for the fall on the face to happen.
You've heard the expression, never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. I'm saying let it roll on, you know.
We have to rename you Lauren Sue.
I imagine their lawyers just must love them to death.
I'm telling you.
Imagine the billable hours.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, did you guys see, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's a report out there that Disney actually, that they, only 5% of those who have lost YouTube TV, only 5% blame Google, but something like 34% blame Disney. And then all the rest of the people blame both sides, which would be the overwhelming majority in any of these kind of fights typically would blame both sides because they don't have time to figure it out. They just want their TV back. Right. In this case, only 5% blame YouTube or Google, and the rest say it's Disney, darn it.
That's a reputational issue. If this happened in a total vacuum, if all the other scandals and all the other exposures and all the other failures of Disney hadn't happened, that number wouldn't exist. But when Disney, after doing all the other bad stuff they've done and getting called on the carpet for it, suddenly this comes along, people say, well, it's Disney. What do you expect? And it's their fault.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with Disney raising prices at the parks. And here's the thing that's like, okay, so Disney is treating YouTube TV as if they are park guests and they can just get away with charging any price they want, because park guests from around the world, they'll pay, but it's a very, very different product. The parks are a very small part of the world that people can come to, and it's sort of an exclusive experience. But television's available to everybody, 8 billion people on the planet practically, and YouTube TV is a whole different ball game to deal with than park guests. So the bottom line is Disney is going to lose, and like Lord said, let's just watch it play out as they do.
Listen, I'm with you. The consumer is the one who's losing right now, but the consumer is going to find a way to watch their live sports until it comes back to YouTube TV. And the package that YouTube TV offers, and the fact that listen, if YouTube wants to win this thing and just decimate Disney, here's what you do. As soon as you force Disney into giving them just ABC and ESPN, and you drop all the rest of the crap that nobody wants, nobody watches, as soon as you do that, drop the total subscription price. At a time, listen, we just saw in this most recent pre-midterm election, people are really, especially young people, are crunched in the economy. Drop the subscription price by $5 or $10 and say, we won for you. We beat Disney. Now we're going to drop the subscription cost, and watch what that does to Hulu. Andy, that would be a masterstroke, I believe, on YouTube's part.
I wonder with Disney, we've seen their revenue drop across the board. Movies are not making anything. Parks are in decline because of their own mismanagement, and competition is doing such a good job. The cruise ships, I don't know how much they're doing. So really the only thing they have left is the sports. Now, in my old industry with retail, A lot of the stores used to make money what they would call through the back door, and I kind of equate this to the BlackRock money that goes into this. Like if you meet these requirements, we'll give you this much or give you this kind of interest-free loan, and that's okay as a supplement because the supermarket industry used to do this, where they would get manufacturers to pay slotting fees, and they would get money coming in without even moving product. They would just kind of warehouse things for some of the larger manufacturers. And that's fine as long as you have a healthy sales base to go off of. It's kind of like a little bit of extra cash coming in. It's like a bonus that you get. The problem is that sooner or later you get to protecting that because you can skim off of that, and a lot of people will start to steal the silverware on the Titanic, and so they're eating itself now. So they've lost their main source of revenue, or it has seriously been impaired. And it's a colossal company, so it has to be very, very expensive to maintain. So there has to be a lot of money coming into it in order to maintain it. I don't know how much money BlackRock is willing to put into that, because as I think it was Lou that pointed out a few weeks ago, where it only has value if people are tuning in. It only has value because BlackRock obviously wants to change. Larry Fink has said this. He wants to change the people's attitudes. He wants to social engineer. Well, you can only socially engineer if your society is watching. And apparently the society has determined that they don't find anything interesting in Disney to watch. And there's a lot of pushback to it. I guess it is going to depend on what runs out sooner, the BlackRock money or any interest at all in what Disney's doing. Sooner or later, you're going to find there's going to be other ways to watch your sports. People are very resourceful. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, but as soon as somebody makes a new law, people immediately find a way around that law. It's like it's the same thing that happens with this. People are going to find different ways. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why they're going after VPNs in Europe and so forth, because they want to control things, and those things diminish the control that they can have. I think it's going to be a losing proposition for them to try and do this, because people will find a way to see their sports. And it's not necessarily paying the extra prices for it, especially when you're not getting any value.
Absolutely.
And that's all brilliant and true. And if even 5% or 10% of people who used to watch sports, professional sports, high-level college sports, get so disgusted by all this gambling stuff that's being revealed that they say, screw that, I'm going to put my energy into my kid's soccer league and to hell with everything else, then they're just not there to come back. They're just not there. And a 5 or 10% difference, and what that costs the advertisers, as the late, great Senator Everett Dirksen once said about the federal government, a billion here and a billion there, and before you know it, you're talking about real money.
That's right. Well, it's real money, folks. Will Disney cave in time for their earnings call? We're going to keep an eye on it, but there's one thing that seems sure to us. They cannot beat YouTube. The question now becomes, how much do they want to lose? You know, it's always sad when one of these video ends, and yet it is the beginning of the wait for the next one to land. 4 times a day right here on the Pro Channel. And by the way, there's plenty more on our partner channels, That Park Place, That Pod Place, That Game Place, and go check out the original music we have on stations like Vacation Radio. We'd love to have you, love to entertain you. At least we'll do a better job than some of the current entertainment companies. Folks, like, share, subscribe, and you know what? Drop a comment right on down below. Share this out anywhere you go on social media. And until the next time, we have the honor, the pleasure of getting to spend time with you when you choose to invite us into your day to add the value that we hope to bring your way. We ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Jump into the water!
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
So I give them cannonball. Oh, oh, yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.